I'm going to start off and take you through this e-commerce model that I use in order to split out different components of e-commerce and be able to identify which parts of the components are working, which ones are not, which ones you want to spend time working on. And this framework starts off from an old framework, which is anyone that's done any marketing theory knows about. It's the 4Ps of marketing. This is very old. This is like back from the 60s. And this was developed by a legendary marketer, Philip Coulter, who made a book called Marketing Management. And what it is the 4Ps are product, price, place, promotion. And these come down to effectively, first of all, P, product. What is your product or service, and what makes it different and stand out? What is the price that you're going to charge for your product, and what tier are you going to operate? Are you a luxury brand, a mid-tier? Are you going to be a premium brand? What is your pricing strategy? And then where are you going to sell your product or service? Which distribution channel you're going to use? Are you going to be having retail, e-commerce? If it's e-commerce, are you doing Amazon? Are you doing Etsy, your own website? That kind of thing. And then lastly, how are you going to promote your product? How are you going to communicate as your product and service? How are you going to convince someone, persuade someone to buy your product or service? And that's the basis of what then the method that I use, which is what we call the 4Cs of e-commerce. Well, the 4Cs of e-commerce are catch, connect, close, and continue. So similarly to the 4Ps, what are the 4Cs? So 4Cs is first of all catch. How are we going to catch a user and get them to visit our online shop? Once we reel someone in, what we want to do is connect with them. We're going to connect with them on our shop and make them feel comfortable, make them trust the shop that they're visiting, and connect with them. And once we've connected with them, we want to close. So it's actually making the sale, whether it's a product or service. It could be that they buy something, or they sign up to through an email, or they book a call, for example, is a close. But then once you close, then it's the continue. So once they've already bought your product or service, to get them to come back afterwards and come back and repeat purchase after that. These are the 4Cs of e-commerce, and we're going to go through them individually and then also look at the metrics that we use and show some examples of what good looks like and what the metrics are behind a good example. So if we move on and look at catch. So first job is you're going to throw your fishing hook and you're going to hook people in. And how you're going to hook people in? Really, there's two ways to get people, if you think, into your online shop. The direct method and the indirect method. Direct method is when they actually click, let's say, on an ad or a search or something that they're looking online, and they click on something and directly takes them to your online shop. So obviously a Google search, a keyword, a Facebook ad, a TikTok video, something that takes them directly onto your website. So you catch them and you get them to your shop. Then there's the indirect method. This could be something like traditional media. You put an ad on TV, paper, influencers, PR, someone talks about your product, word of mouth, a friend tells you, or you have retail presence, and then that factors into online. This requires someone to actually go and search for your website and go onto your shop rather than the direct method. And the quality and reach of each of these direct and direct methods are directly proportional to the effectiveness of your catch. So how good you are in these direct or indirect methods directly impacts the performance of your catch. And also what you want to do is you don't want to catch everyone, absolutely everyone. Of course, the more the better, but you want to have quality traffic that goes into your site. You spend hundreds of thousands on a TV ad, you get millions onto your site, but nobody buys, it's a complete waste of money. So what you want to do is quality catch. And if we move on, the way to measure how you're doing is look at your ad impressions, how many people you're reaching, what's your click-through rate on those ads, how many people are like your ad and then want to know more. If you're doing a Google search, what's it costing you per click? And then ultimately, you want to track your visitors over time. Are you growing your traffic onto your website? And then if we move on, and the next one, once we've, just to show some examples of catch, these are some examples of catch. And what you want to look at in terms of catch is eye-catching visuals. These are people are scrolling effectively, so you want to stop them in their scrolling, and you want them to catch their eye. Once you catch their eye, you want to have a nice heading, super flavor, something like that, something that compelling that makes them want to know more. And you want to have as well a strong call to action, these are some examples that we have. Yeah, so once we've caught them, we move on to the next step, which is connect. And so once the catch is done, what you want to do is you want to convince someone to buy your product or service. And so they've landed onto your homepage or landing page. So it's all about what's the quality of your homepage? Does it spark interest to view more? Is it easy to navigate? Are you presenting your brand in the best possible way? Is it easy to scroll through different pages? Can you see clearly what are the product offerings? Do you lead with your benefits, first of all, get people to buy into your benefits? And then what is the reason to believe behind those benefits, features of your product? And of course, reviews, certifications, all that helps to give people confidence and connecting. And then, of course, the quality of your images, your videos to explain your product on your website makes it easy. And then is there a clear call to action? At the end of the day, you want people to buy, add to cart, or sign up to a newsletter, sign up for email, or book in a call. And if we move on, so how we measure this, and what we want to do is we want to see the time that people are spending. So the more time they spend, the more engaging they are with your brand or your shop. Where are they navigating? Are they spending the time on the homepage and then they bounce? Are they on the product page? Are they on the cart page? Where's the bounce rate and where is it happening? So you have to measure over time how many people, percentage of people are bouncing, and how can you reduce your bounce rate and where it's happening. And you can use software to track where it is that they are actually dropping on your site so you can see what you need to fix. Right, so what are some examples of Connect and what we want to do in terms of Connect? And these are actually web versions. Very important is you have to have the web, the online, the phone version. At 70 to 80% of your traffic is on mobile. So if your mobile site doesn't look good, you're going to have people bouncing because it's not easy to follow. All these examples I'm showing here are mobile versions of websites. So you have clear proposition, engaging visuals, minimal distractions, so you reduce the clutter. You have to have trust signals, some nice reviews, certifications, optimize for mobile like this has, fast loading speed as well. If the website takes a long time to load, people will bounce. And so you've done everything, you've done your job, you've caught them in, you've connected with them, you've showed them that you've got a good quality. Now it's time to close. Now it's time to make the sale. So when you're on the sale starts on the product page. So they're thinking about, should I add it to cart? Is it easy to follow the descriptions? The price now plays a factor here. Is the price reasonable for what you're offering? Is it a good value proposition? Do they buy into the reviews in the product page? And then it's time to add to cart button. And this is where the real close happens, is once they click on add to cart, is where a lot of the drop-offs happen. So if we move on, what we've got to think of here is once they click into add to cart, they get to the checkout page. And is the form easy to fill in? Are the delivery costs explained clearly? Are there any hidden fees that have been added in? Are you offering free returns, refunds? Is the checkout optimized for mobile as well? So once you're on the mobile, is it easy to scroll and it's not out of proportion? And do you offer all the different payment options? And actually, it's very interesting to see if you go on to the next slide, it's actually the top reasons for abandoned checkouts. About 70% on average, people drop off at the checkout point. It's very easy to add things to the basket. Anybody can just add things to the basket. Very different to part with your hard-earned money. So to actually do the purchase. So then you add to the basket, you want to see maybe, well, let me see a bit more. How much does it cost me? If all of a sudden they have unexpected shipping costs, easily the number one reason why people drop off. Forced account creation as well. If you don't let them check out as guests, everyone knows how difficult, how annoying it gets. You have to create a password and captchas and this and that. People drop off a lot. If it's a complicated checkout process, the total cost again is upfront is not clear. The website crashes, obviously. But then also if deliveries, for example, if you're offering delivery in 5 to 10 days, maybe they expect it tomorrow, that would be another reason for them to drop off. The payment options as well, not all of them being available. And payment options could be obvious ones like Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay. But if you go internationally, some markets, for example, Middle East, they are very big on cash on delivery. So if you don't offer that, people will bounce, people will drop. And these are the top reasons for abandoned checkout. And so now that you've passed all these tests, this is an example of a simple close. You offer very easy, if you offer things like Google Pay, Apple Pay, automatically picks up your address. You don't have to fill in any forms. If you have the Shop app from Shopify, you want to keep it simple. You want to avoid as many touch points as possible so that you can actually close the sale. And there we go. And then, so the sale is done, well done. Now you think the job is done, but actually, no, it's 4 C's, it's not 3 C's. And the last C is continue. It's with the way online, the cost that it takes to get someone onto your website and to buy a product, sometimes you actually rely on repeat purchase to make it work. And the continue starts the minute the customer makes the sale. So once the sale is made, are you offering clear confirmation emails? Are you communicating with the customer? Do they understand when the delivery is going to come? The experience from now on will factor in whether you get a repeat purchase or not. So if we look at some of the metrics for this one, we click through. You want to have clear confirmation by email. What did they buy and how much did they pay for it? You've got clear shipping instructions, shipping notifications as well to let them know to be at home when the shipment is going to happen. And actually, are you going to deliver as per what you promised? So if you said 48 hours, did you deliver in 48 hours? If it goes delayed beyond that, there is a chance then they might think, oh, I'm not going to buy again. It needs to be, it's so competitive out there. There's so many choices when it comes to online shopping. If you're not on point on everything, people can just go off and find someone else that will deliver as per their expectations. And also when they receive the product, the packaging, the unwrapping experience, if they paid a premium for it, they expect a premium experience, and that will help towards that continue and the next sale. And in terms of continue, all that I've said really doesn't matter. All depends at the end on the second moment of truth. It's when the customer actually has the product and tries it, and whatever it is that they've bought, they enjoy the experience. That is absolutely critical. So if they don't enjoy the product, then it doesn't matter what you do from now on, they're not going to buy from you again. So the key is you've done your homework beforehand, and you've actually got a value product proposition that consumers like, that they enjoy, and that when they receive it, they love the product, they tell their friends and family about it. That's the key to have continue. Without that, everything I've said before doesn't matter. And no matter how many times you go after the customer again, the key is the second moment of truth. So if you click through, ways to do continue as well is subscriptions, and this can start even before the close. If you're offering subscriptions, you already got someone in for a second, third, fourth, fifth sale. So that's the easiest way to do continue. And then as well, there is email marketing, of course, CRM. So if you've got new products, you've got new launches, events, occasions like Black Friday, Christmas, Valentine's, all these are occasions where you can actually send email marketing. And then lastly as well, new channels. So you might sell online, but somebody then might find you in a retail store and then they buy your product as well. That's another way to continue the journey of the customers. They might buy it in another channel. And these are just some examples of continue. You've got a subscription where when you sign up, you give a discount to subscribe. So you incentivize the continue already from this point. Or you send an email saying, for example, National this day, National Cheese Day, whatever it is, send an email, and then you get people to buy into your product again. So what are the metrics that we want to follow in this catch, connect, close, continue? In the catch, we're looking for is click-through rates, target of about 2-3%, cost per clicks, target about $1 to $3. And then you also want to check over time, how many impressions are you getting, how much are you spending, how many visitors are you getting over time. And when it comes to connect, how much are they spending on your website, session durations, longer sessions indicate better engagement, and the bounce rates that you want to happen, and where does it happen, and how is your bounce rate over time. And then close, the critical one, conversion rate. How many people who visit your shop are converting and buying? And then cart abandonment rate. Anything below 70% would probably be a good metric. There's a high cart abandonment rate is very big. And then also you've got cart retargeting to go after that. Net promoter score as well. So people are, once they close, are they promoting your product? And then lastly, continue. Customer repeat rate. Averages across all industries, 15-20%. anything better than that, you'd be above average in terms of customer repeat rate. And so let's put all that together. And how does that look in terms of an example and go from catch all the way to continue? Say, for example, you were to spend £500 on ads. With those £500 of ads, you generate 20,000 impressions. And that gives you, you got a click-through rate on your impressions of 2%. You get 400 visitors. This is a tough market. Unfortunately, 200 people will just bounce. It just happens. 50% of people on the homepage, something they don't like, gone. And then they look at your product page, you get another 176 people bounce, they're gone. And then you get people adding to cart. And then you're in the close stage. And in the close stage, you're left with 24 users, and they've added an item to your cart. So sounds good. They add item to the cart, but this is where it's a high percentage drop out for whatever reason, what I explained earlier. Something they don't like, shipping cost, something happens, they drop out. 16 users drop out. You're left with 8 users who make a purchase of an average order value of £30. And these users, therefore, what your job is now to deliver the product to 8 users. So that's where the continue starts. Deliver the product, deliver it on time. And then if you do that, you get some repeat purchases. And then you can get 2 users, make a repeat purchase. And the good thing about the repeat purchase is normally the repeat purchase is higher than the first purchase in terms of basket size, because they've already tried your product, they like it, they trust you, so they feel more comfortable buying more. And therefore, whereas if they do just one purchase, you have an average order value of 30. With this, your customer lifetime value goes from 30 to 43. And we've got now a click-through conversion rate of 2%, but the cost per acquisition in this example is £62. So still too high, £62 versus lifetime value of 43. It's not working out, right? So what we've done here is we've seen an example that's not working. So what we want to do is we go back and we say, what can we improve on catch, connect, close, and continue? So what we do is we generate the same amount of impressions. We work on improving those ads. We get better quality ads, better visuals, better call to action, better headline, improves the click-through rate from 2 to 3%. What does that mean? We now go from 400 visitors, you have 600 visitors. So out of those 600 visitors, in this case, 300 bounce, and then 258 bounce on the product page as well. And then we end up in the cart. Move on. Now we have 42 users have added an item to the cart. Spending the same amount of money, we have more users adding items to the cart because we improved the click-through rate. And then 24 people abandon the cart. We still get 18 people making an average order value, and we incentivize higher average order value. We get £35. That means now we've got 18 users which we deliver the product. And there, in these cases, we get 6 users who make a repeat purchase for £50. And therefore the lifetime value in this case goes from the previous example of 43 to 52. And with the conversion rate increased from 2% to 3%, the cost per acquisition goes down from 62 to 28. And in this case, we spent £28 to acquire a customer, and we got 52 back. So this way it works. And spending the same amount of money. So it's about identifying, okay, is it catch that's not working? Is it connect? Is it close? Is it all of them? Or where do I want to focus? At the end of the day, you can't do everything all at the same time. So you have to identify where is it that you want to spend your time. Where is it I want to improve my click-through rate? No, actually, I want to improve my conversion. I want to get more people in. That's what you want. I want to increase the basket size. I want to work on repeat purchase. And that's how the ultimate lifetime cycle works and how you can get more profitable in your online business and your shop.